let's move on to the NBA here. Winston, I want to get your thoughts on this, and feel free to say or not say what you feel about it. I just wanted to put it on the rundown here. The Kyrie Irving stuff is starting to blow up for these Nets, and the drama from last year seems to be rearing its ugly head again in a different way with Kyrie Irving at the center of it. Last year it was about the vaccinations and him having an issue with it, and so he wasn't able to play in New York because there were those shutdowns at the time. Or that people weren't allowed to perform their jobs if they weren't vaccinated for a little bit of the shutdown. So that affected them in the end, and they kind of imploded a little bit. And so Kevin Durant wanted to leave in the offseason. Then Kyrie Irving signed his extension to stay with the Nets, saying he was going to lead the Nets and he wanted to be all about the Nets. And then Durant came back because there was no way they were going to trade him. And now this thing blew up over the last few days here with him tweeting out about a movie called Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America, which has some anti-Semitic stuff within it. He was challenged by an ESPN reporter about this. He claimed that he wasn't promoting it. He said, did I do anything illegal? Did I hurt anybody? Did I harm anybody? Am I going out and saying that I hate one specific group of people? And which was his defense. And he said he wasn't promoting anything just by tweeting it out. He's not promoting it. Which is a heck of a stretch. Joe Tsai, who is the owner of the Nets, came out and was said he was disappointed by Kyrie's tweets. The National Basketball League Players Association has not said anything, and then Kyrie took the tweet down last night. So this is just a lot of drama here with Kyrie, and the team is 1-5. He also posted something in support of Alex Jones's opinion about cults in America, or the occult in America, from a few years ago. He posted it a few days ago saying that he was right. So, but he said, I'm not campaigning with Alex Jones. I don't believe he was right about Sandy Hook. But still, why are you tweeting out about Alex Jones when you know he's a noted misinformation guy? So this seems like a lot of drama involved with Kyrie. And I wonder how much of this is worth the headache for the Nets and the NBA, to be honest with you. What are your feelings about all of this? And again, I say this, whatever you want to or not want to say on this, feel free. But I wanted to throw it out there for possible discussion.
I wasn't familiar with it. I really had kind of, so I just sped read this article just so I could try and get a basic understanding of what's happening. I think partially because, one, I've been so genuinely tired with the whole Kanye controversy.
Oh God, yeah, the controversy,
and have been at the forefront of yelling about how he's been out of control. I understand and agree with a number of Black folks that are saying, well, why didn't this happen with the anti-Blackness? With that, he would say, in the same breath, I immediately counter with, because too many Black folks still, after he said slavery was a choice and the shit about Harriet Tubman, would turn around and buy Yeezys and then go and listen to Donda and would do all these things where we weren't holding him accountable. And there was somebody that said it pretty clearly. There's a number of white folks that don't want to get canceled themselves. So they're like, I'm not going to just all of a sudden uproot this contract if y'all haven't decided that either you fuck with them or you don't. If you let us know this ain't acceptable, then we're like, okay, bye. But that's not what was happening. So that's a whole other very much longer conversation. I know you do other shows, John, and maybe we could talk about that another time.
Yeah, sure.
But as far as Kyrie, I really wish he would just stop. Yeah. I'm not saying that someone shouldn't have a voice. I do wish that he would just stop, because the problem on top of that, I am not saying that if he was bawling like crazy, that would excuse his behavior. It does not.
Sure.
But it's kind of wild for somebody to continue to rock the fucking boat and to say and support horrific or stupid shit, and to be playing bad. You know what I'm saying? To also not be like that doesn't excuse a single thing. Let me make that very clear. I am not saying that if he was, putting out 50 a night and the Nets were undefeated, that would excuse Kyrie for supporting an anti-Semitic movie. That is not what I'm saying.
Right.
But I'm saying it looks doubly bad. That you are spewing this nonsense and you're playing like shit, to the point where now, in my mind, all of a sudden you have zero kind of value. At the very least, if you were like bawling, then it becomes a hard conversation maybe for the organization about what you do. But bro, you've been nothing but a headache the entire time you've been up there. It has been, I'm not going to play in this game. I'm not going to play in that game. I'm not going to get a vaccine. The world is flat. I'm going to put this anti-Semitic movie up. You are literally nothing but a headache at this point. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. So I don't know the film. I'm not familiar with it. I'm not familiar because the only thing I read in this article that it has anti-Semitic tropes, that it's stuffed with them. I don't know specifically what we're talking about here. That if people are saying it's bad, I believe it, but I don't want to speak from a place of just assumption because I am not familiar.
Absolutely. But
yeah.
Some of the stuff in the movie, some of the stuff behind this movement is, saying how when we teach slavery in schools, we don't teach about how Jewish people were involved in it and owned some of the boats that were taken. So there's a lot of accusations, a lot of stuff that comes through that. And I personally am not, please no one think I'm some kind of learned person about this. I've read as much as I've read, but I'm in no way an expert, but I understand the argument and the anger here. And I'm only speaking at it from a sports point of view, right? Like this idea of having someone like, and listen, it's not like Kyrie has just all of a sudden become a troublemaker. There have been issues with him in Boston. There were issues with him and LeBron in Cleveland. And so now there are rumors that he might be trying to do this so he can get sent to the Lakers. How does LeBron cover this up and go, and he comes to Los Angeles to play for the Lakers with all of this surrounding him? And yes, this weak excuse because you tweet a link out and you're not saying anything about it, that it's not somehow promoting it, is nonsense. If you use your massive platform and you tweet out a link to a movie, by not saying anything, you're essentially condoning the movie. That's what you're doing. And you cannot hide behind the fact that I'm not promoting it. Don't say promotion if I didn't say people should watch it. That's a horseshit excuse and a fake shield. If you use your platform in that way, that's the thing. Now, if you tweet something out and say, look at this is terrible, then you're not promoting it. You're trying to destroy it. Or if you say this is great, then you're overtly promoting it. But tweeting it out, you're still promoting it because you're letting people go to this place and decide their own mind. So in a way, you're condoning whatever's in here. So you've got to take responsibility for that. And I agree with you. If I'm the Nets, I'm like, is this worth it? Is this all worth it when we're 1-5 and he can be someone else's headache? And if this was a white player tweeting out something about Black experience or something, some racist tropes, the NBA PA would have come out by now and destroyed him. If this was Luka, they'd have gone after him like crazy. So to me, it bothers me that the NBA PA hasn't said anything, that none of the Nets players want to get involved in this, because you can't just stand up when it's convenient to stand up. And I'm not saying they only stand up when they're convenient, but this is a tough issue. This is your teammate. Teammates should call out other teammates when they're going in a different direction or direction that can be anti-Semitic. It just doesn't work. It's not a good look, and it's not good for your team. And if I'm Kevin Durant, I'm just like, I'm not playing anymore, guys. Like, fuck this shit. Trade him. I'm sitting for the rest of the season. Fuck this nonsense. Just pay me. And he would have every right to do that.
Yeah. It is crazy. I am one of the most protesting, revolution, all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
But my problem by far is the fact that all of this nonsense with Kyrie is with stuff that's just like off base, bro.
Yeah.
Like if you clearly are the type of person that is, you watch YouTube videos all day, but not actually do some real fucking research into the shit you're talking about, and your tweets and all that stuff have a negative impact on people.
You influence young men. You influence young children. Young children follow you, Kyrie. So those things you post, they will go and read it. And I know you think you're posting this stuff because you want to post this education, but what it could lead to, it's irresponsible, in my opinion, in that format, without context, without a real written, if you were to post this link and go see my article, I wrote it. And what was the one that Derek Jeter ran, the Players Tribune? I wrote a massive article explaining why I believe the way I believe, blah, 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 blah. Then you could, at least from an intellectual point of view, be like, okay, I see why he thinks the way he thinks. I see why he believes the way he believes. I don't like it, but I respect the fact that he believes this because he's explained it. But just posting it with no context, I think, is a little bit of a coward's way out. And I know he's a thinker, and he has stood up for Black Lives Matter. He has marched. He has protested. He has risked his membership in the NBA doing that. But by the same token, this kind of stuff, you have to stand up and take the hits. Going back and forth with a reporter, accusing of a reporter to trying to create Instagram clips for himself to kiss his own ass, I think is so beyond the pale. It just doesn't make any sense. And it really undercuts your stance overall on this whole thing because you're punching down and it doesn't make sense. So,
yeah,
in my opinion. Right, we'll see what happens.
Man.
We'll see what happens with that kind of shit.
That kind of stuff.